That was a good pop. You hear that pop?
That was a good pop, Eddie.
The pop and the hop. Welcome into A Toast to Film. I'm one of your hosts, Ebo, and today we are Jerffy. That's right, Jerffy Choo Choo in the house.
Choo choo!
Oh man, the choo choos get better every time. And we are toasting with the Bride of Dankenstein. We got it again. Jerf's giving it a try. I got mine in a old Venom The Last Dance cup because we literally just got back from the theater. So toasting, toasting to my boy being here, toasting to going to movies, and also toasting because today is my dad's birthday. So a big cheers to him. Ed loved a drink or two. So let's get into this. So today's episode, we got Venom The Last Dance. Do we think it's the last dance? And was it a good dance? Jeff, this guy, I've seen him cut a rug. This man been invited to so many weddings. I've seen him dress. See, he knows.
That was
I've seen him
opposite.
do a little dance. And, sometimes the dance isn't good. Sometimes it's a bad dance.
But, Eddie, this dance was great.
Well, hold that thought. Because I just got to let folks know we will also be Mr. Snail's Pick of the Week. We'll be doing our final Halloween series with just a D6. And I explained to Jeff some of the movies.
And
he
Eddie,
is elated.
These movies, I do not know what drives you to watch these movies when they look like garbage. And the premises
they're incredible.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's called art, Jeff. You ever heard of it?
Have you been to the doctor recently, Eddie? Have you seen a neurologist?
No. Actually, no, I haven't.
You should see a neurologist, Eddie.
But you know who needed to see a neurologist at one point in the series? That was Eddie Brock. Because we're back with Venom 3, The Last Dance. So this is written and directed by Kelly Marcel and Tom Hardy. Kelly Marcel took over directing on this because we had Andy Serkis do the second one, and Ruben Fleischer, who brought us things such as Zombieland, did the first one. And Kelly Marcel, aside from writing all three Venoms, she also wrote Cruella and 50 Shades of Grey. So that's a very interesting three set. But this one, we got our boy Venom, Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy.
Eddie, before you continue, do you want to do the D6 thing, or is that later?
No, D6 is later.
Okay, well, wasn't sure your process.
Hey, I appreciate you though, Jeff. I appreciate you. But and we got Miss Chen is back, played by Peggy Lou.
Everyone loves Miss Chen. She's the best. She's a goat.
And some new characters, including Strickland, who's a general, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Dr. Teddy Payne, played by Juno Temple. So, Jeff, what's your initial thought now that we have left the theater?
Well, this is just a dance that I think everybody should go to because, again, don't listen to the critics. They'll give it's not a good movie. But let me tell you, folks, the critics are wrong. This is a fun movie. Is it the best movie, like critical wise? Maybe not, but it's just a fun movie. And the banter between Eddie Brock and Venom still was what carries the film. And Miss Chen is in the movie, and then there's a goat scene with her, like greatest of all time scene with Miss Chen in Vegas with Eddie, and it's just chef's kiss. It was one of my favorite parts of the entire movie.
Oof. So, what Jeff is referring to, if you've seen the trailer, it was a dance scene, and honestly, that's, to me, was the worst scene in the entire movie. I hated it.
Don't listen to this man.
Hollywood, right? Please stop with the random dance scenes. It's not fun anymore. It's just, Like you're filling time.
It's not fun with crappy characters, right? But it is fun with Miss Chen, who's a great character.
Miss Chen's okay.
And you can just leave right now, right? You can just leave.
Wow,
Miss Chen is the best.
the disrespect.
And the Venom and Miss Chen dance, it was so stupid, but it was just so much fun. Like you just can't help but like it.
Well, let me tell you. So I didn't like that. So how I really did not like Venom 2. Aside from like Carnage and Scream and stuff like that, I really thought it was a pretty weak movie. And first one I still think's the best made of the three. This one is very fun though. They're like, look, if we're going out fun. And they crowbar in some stuff like there's this family played by Rice Ifen. He's got like a wife and 2 kids and a dog, and they're like traveling, and they get into some shenanigans. Let me tell you, Alana Uba, who plays his wife Nova, I love her because I just watched not too long ago the Ted TV series. Have you watched this?
I have not watched the Ted TV.
Let me tell you, that series starts out, first episode, I'm like, I don't know if I'm into this.
Is she in it?
She's the mom of Mark Wahlberg's character, because this is like him when he was a kid and first met Ted.
Right.
And she is so funny on that show. And she plays a mom in this, but there she's like your stereotypical older mom, where she's like, hey, what are you kids doing out here? And in here, she's just like your average mom, but love her. Loved seeing her in this. Old Rice Ifans.
Yeah, I recognize, I don't know what else she's been in because I haven't seen the Ted, but I do know, I recognize her right away from the Monk TV show where she plays one of the employees that robs the bank next door.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Look at that. This lady's bringing us all together. But what are we edging for? I was apprehensive at first because I hate when you have somebody who's potentially playing another character, because this is, thanks to the third Spider-Man, Venom is kind of in the MCU. And so you have Chiwetel Ejiofor who plays Mordo, and now you have him also playing General Strickland, and I hate when they do that. So, but for me, he gave a good enough performance.
I mean, technically they're in MCU, but are they really gonna have another crossover?
That's true.
With Strickland and Mordo.
That is very true.
I doubt it. They might have a crossover with Venom and the other characters in the MCU.
Yeah,
but I highly doubt they're gonna have a crossover with Strickland and Mordo.
I mean, that's very true.
I mean, your point is valid, but I think it's a
fine risk. He gave a good enough performance. Chiwetel Ejiofor, he's very good at being stern. That's why he makes a great Mordo, and why he's good in this, because
he's also good at playing just army generals.
Yeah,
he was also the army general in Man of Steel, wasn't he?
No, I don't believe so.
No, the general.
Hold on. We're looking through the power of Google. Was Chiwetel Ejiofor in Man of Steel? What year did Man of Steel come out? 2013, 2014?
Not so long ago, Eddie.
I mean, it definitely is pretty long ago. I'm not seeing it. Jeff.
I'm pretty positive he was, because it looked very similar to him.
Well, it looks like he was not. He was, though. Great role. He was the partner of Denzel Washington in Inside Man, which I love. But, we got Juno Temple in this, and she did really good. And she plays this doctor. I didn't think we needed as extensive a backstory on her as we got.
No, I would agree. We probably didn't.
But, it was fine. This movie, look, I'll give it this. This movie, if you don't include the credits, which we'll get to that in a second. If you don't include the credits, this movie clocked in at an hour 35. And I have been saying forever, like, let's stop with the over 2 hour nonsense. We don't need it, especially something like this. This is Venom. We're getting Tom Hardy talking like this for the Venom voice. So, we don't need that.
And right, it wasn't. It was Harry Lennox.
Oh.
That does look like him, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah, I think it does.
You're crazy. You crazy man. But we get introduced to one of the most powerful villains in Null, who's voiced by Andy Serkis.
Of course.
Full CG character. I thought the CG on Null looked horrendous. Everything else was fine. Like the symbiotes looked good. The giant creature things that were chasing them looked fine.
The CGI on Null was fine to me because
when they showed his face,
you didn't really see a lot of them. Like you saw his face for maybe like a few seconds, and that was it.
It ain't getting a pass. There's no reason. It's the Last Dance. You got to make it count.
I thought it was fine. I mean, was it best? No, but he was only outside of those few seconds you saw his face. The rest of him it's just silhouettes and like
looking
a down shot on his head with his silver hair, which always reminded me of what I think it was Sephiroth from the Final Fantasy VII series.
I could see that. It's the white hair.
Yeah.
But, this, Eddie and Venom, they're on the run because these giant aliens are chasing them.
Well, first, they're on the run from the last movie when they were fugitives.
That's true. They're on the run from being fugitives. It picks up where that one scene in Spider-Man 3 happened. And this movie, I think they knew, like, hey, this is it. Let's just make it a fun, good time. And mild spoiler, real quick, we get a just endless amount of symbiotes at the end of this. And I'm sure if you read, all the like symbiote comics, you would know who these people are. I have no idea.
Nope.
I don't think Jeff has no idea.
Some of them,
they look
all
cool.
of the ones at the final fight with the Knowles henchmen, I would say.
These like big aliens.
The fight with them, I didn't recognize really any of the symbiotes, but the one at the end, I won't say who becomes a symbiote, but that symbiote looked vaguely kind of familiar.
Yeah,
it looks a lot like Scream. Maybe that's why, but I think I recognize it.
It is similar to Scream.
I don't know if that's why it seems familiar, but it seems familiar from somewhere else.
And it's electric.
And it's electric. So now there's a Flash in the Sony Marvel universe.
Yeah. So movie's fun. I think it gets a little boring in the middle.
Well, on his road trip, you mean?
Yeah, on the road trip. But I mean, it's fine. They make up for it with good action at the end. And like I said, even the stuff I really didn't like the dance scene, it was fine. They're having fun. This is the last movie. Tom Hardy loves this. He co-wrote this script with Kelly Marcel, who's wrote all three of them. So I think it's a good time. Now, I don't agree with Jeff that you need to rush out and see this.
Well, no, I'm not. Did I say you need to rush out and see this?
Well, you said this is a dance you got to go see.
Yeah, gotta go see it. I'm not saying go out right now, but
he said go out
in the span of this movie's release, it's going to be in theaters a couple weeks, maybe a month or two. You should go see it within that time frame while it's in theaters.
I mean, if you want to wait for streaming, that's also fine. So, Jeff, real quick, before we get into our ratings, let me just tell y'all. So, I had gotten, before I saw the movie, I got the credit scenes spoiled. But I had no context. I knew what the scenes were. I had no context. And I gotta say, one, I don't think either are worth waiting for me, especially the post-credit scene. Leave. Do not wait.
I think the post-credit scene, you can probably leave. I do think it's interesting. I don't really know where they're going with that post-credit scene.
I'll explain to you off air because I know the
because you might know.
And then the other one, my problem is they keep doing these credit scenes for the Venom movies, setting up this Sonyverse or at least attempting to. And I mean, let's just stop. The Sonyverse, it's not going to happen. Disney's going to get Spider-Man sooner or later and all his friends. So let's just quit while we're ahead. That's all I got to say.
Hey, I want Andrew Garfield to get his third Spider-Man movie.
And he could in the MCU where he belongs. Not with Sony. But, Jeff, what is your Cheers rating? That's what the people want to know.
My Cheers rating, I think I would give it a solid 4.
A solid 4.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at Big Jerf over here.
I just think it's a fun movie. Because Eddie thinks it's boring in the middle on the road trip
while he was tired.
While he was on the run from the last movie. And I thought that was really fun because he meets the family and they were kind of crazy and fun in a silly way. And I just liked them a lot. And so I think all that was fun. I think it was just like a fun, enjoyable movie. I mean, the best, no, but I thought it was pretty solid.
Okay.
The fun overcomes the badness of the movie.
So for me, I would give it, because the first Venom, I'm sitting at maybe a 3.3 for the first Venom. And 2, I'm sitting at a 2. So this one, though, I mean, I would put it at maybe on par with what I would give the first Venom. So maybe a 3.2, 3.3. Because
it's better than a 3.2, 3.3, Eddie. Come on.
But see, I also base my rating.
I would at least give mine a minimum of a 3.8.
I also base mine on replay value. And to me, this movie as a whole, I don't have a lot of replay value for. So that brings it down a lot. And then the middle brings it down. That dance scene brings it down.
That dance scene brings it up, Eddie.
The CG on Noel's face brings it down.
I'm sorry, you got 2 left feet.
I mean, I surely might. At this point, I don't want any feet. I just want them to cut my ankles off as bad as my arthritis is. But I do think I agree with Jeff. You could wait for streaming, but I mean, it's the last Venom. Who knows what we're ever going to get? And Tom Hardy loves this character. So, go check it out. You'll have, at the worst, if you go with a bunch of your buddies, you'll have a good time. That's literally the worst thing that's going to happen to you, is you're going to have a pretty good time. And we had a decent crowd.
And it was still a pretty also a funny movie as well.
Yeah.
Because the humor didn't seem forced at all to me.
Yeah, we had a good crowd too who, they were into it. They weren't talking, they weren't on their phones, they laughed. So, good time. But now we got to get into Mr. Snail's pick of the week. And he graced us with the Halloween edition, where it's weekly, starting with D12, D10, D8, and after this review, we'll be doing a D6. And this week's movie was Blood Games from 1990. This is from Tanya Rosenberg, who directed it. And this is the only film credit this woman has.
Not even as a writer or actor in any other movie?
She has never acted in anything,
never
including
produced anything else?
She has never written anything. She has never gotten a thanks for anything. She has never directed anything else. She's never been an extra on anything. This is the only thing she has ever done film related, was direct this movie. One and done.
Say weird filmography.
It's literally just one. I've never seen somebody with just one. But let me tell you,
because the movie was probably very bad.
You'll find out. But when an all-girl baseball team beats a group of rowdy rednecks from a small town, they soon find themselves the prey in a deadly bounty hunt. Now they are playing for their lives. So this movie, I was recommended to add it to my list from the Horror Fight podcast. Check them out. Those guys, they know about the horror movies, the good stuff, the crap that I like. I
don't know if I'll call that the good stuff.
They get me. But this movie is just 9 levels of ridiculous. So basically it's these adult women who travel town to town to play baseball against the, town yahoos. And, winner gets money, and because they're trying to pay off the coach's debt. Like, this is
the rednecks coach's debt.
No, the girls are trying to pay off their coach's debt because 2 of the girls are his daughters.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. And so they're in this like bumpkin little redneck town. They beat the guys, and like the whole game, the guys are like grabbing them on the butt, copping a fill in their boobs. One of them, like, who's like a real jerk, like elbows a chick in the face when she's running. Like, this movie's crazy. And that's just the beginning. And then after the baseball game, 2 of them try and, sexually assault like these girls. People are getting killed. And then all these rednecks are like, you know what? We're going to kill these girls because they embarrassed our boys.
Way to be a man
and
teach those women you mean business by trying to kill them.
Yeah.
That's very manly of them.
Yeah, after trying to assault them.
Exactly.
Real great town they were in. So then these girls, their bus breaks down after being shot multiple times. And so then they're in the woods and they got baseball bats. And all these rednecks got guns. And so it's the girls versus the guys once again. And
Eddie, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So in baseball, major leagues use maple bats and sometimes ash. In college and high school, they use metal bats. Are they using wooden bats or metal bats?
Wooden bats. Yeah. Yeah, just regular wooden bats. I will say, one thing I was sad about is you could tell the actress who was the girl's pitcher, I don't think she was like a former softball player. Because, I was hoping she was going to do that, like, what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the wind-up.
The wind-up, like, softball pitch.
Yeah.
But instead, she's just, like, throwing it like a normal person would.
So it's soft toss softball.
Yeah. And I was a little disappointed by that. I was hoping for some heat. But it's very slow, but it's very fun. Because, like, these girls, they got to try and outsmart these guys. There's a lot more of the guys than there are the girls. Very small group of girls, especially after a few of them get taken out, and the hunt begins. But it's one that I think you should check out. It's a good time, and give it a shot. I would rate it a 3.1, though. It's like it is.
You're rating it just below the Venom movies.
Jeff, everything is different. Okay, that's what I always tell folks.
I would rather watch a baseball game between the Yankees and the Red Sox pre-2023 with the rule changes where their games last 4 hours. And I would rather watch that game or watch paint dry than watch that movie.
I mean, I don't blame you. I liked it, though. But now we're on to next week, which will be the final Halloween, Mr. Snail. Then we'll take a week off and get back to the, bi-weekly schedule. And this week's picks are Chompy and the Girls, Seed People, Pinocchio's Revenge, Strays, and Tourist Trap. And once again, all the movies we've been choosing are either on Tubi or YouTube because we want these movies to be free for everyone, regardless if you have a subscription somewhere or not. So I have a D6.
Those movies are probably not worth paying for.
They're worth it. They're worth it. You're about to find out which one we're talking about next week.
Sail the high seas, people.
You ready, Jeff? You ready to tell them what we roll?
I'm ready.
What is it, Jeff?
It's a 5.
You know what's funny is out of all these movies, it actually was the best movie, like the highest rated movie. So this movie is From Beyond. It has our girl, Barbara Crampton. We're big Barbara Crampton people over at Toast of Film. I did a like little session about that and even had it on TikTok. But this is I want Jeff to hear this. So it's about a group of scientists have developed the Resonator, a machine which allows whoever is within range to see beyond normal perceptible reality. But when the experiment succeeds, they are immediately attacked by terrible life forms. So it has a lot of body horror, like The Thing, a lot of grotesque. And Barbara Crampton, she's like in here, and it's very well known because out of nowhere she's like dressing like a dominatrix, like full leather outfit. Yeah,
Maybe I should watch this movie, Eddie.
I'm telling you, man, From Beyond gets wild. Okay, I'm telling y'all. So check it out. From Beyond. I know it's on Tubi. I know it's on some other stuff for free, but From Beyond, like Jeff, like look at this.
It looks like Play-Doh.
I mean, this is some old stuff, so it gets a little wild. The CG, because this was, some CG, not as much practical effects, but it's a very fun movie, and I mean, Barbara Crampton. That's all you need to know.
I'm not familiar with her work, Eddie.
You should be. Jacob's Wife, Beyond the Gates, Chopping Mall. We talked about that.
Don't know that movie.
But check out From Beyond. Listen in when we do our Halloween episode. And like we said, check out Venom Last Dance. It's fun. You'll enjoy yourself. But we've reached the end of the episode, and we thank y'all for watching. We thank you for listening, whichever you do. And if you want to let us know what you think about Venom Last Dance, or From Beyond, or Blood Games, prove Jeff wrong that it's worth checking out. There's so many ways you can do it, but let me tell you the best ways. Check us out on TikTok and Instagram, A Toast of Film, all one word, or check us out on Twitter at film_toast, or hopefully you're watching on YouTube. And, make sure to comment, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And you can do that just by going to YouTube, checking out A Toast of Film podcast. But from Jerffy and myself, we just wish you a good night.
And good viewing.
My man.